So here I got a few games from the stream I did the other week with RedBarron, where I'm just testing out a new Majesea build and just kind of wanted to discuss my thoughts, my plays in the game, and just my general thoughts on the deck. If you want to check out a deck profile on it, I'll have that linked up in the card here, should be uploaded at the same time, and I also have a link in the description if you'd rather go watch it after watching this video. Do note that this is a previous version of the deck, so there are some changes, but the general idea of the deck still holds the same. So with that, let's get right into it. So this is a best of 3 against Barron with the first iteration of my deck. So I rolled a 3 there, or no, I'm rolling now. I rolled an 8, of course, shuffling up the deck. Barron rolls a 6. So I get to go first. And of course, let's see, good, okay, no counter runes, so that hurts a little bit, and I don't really want to see Majesea, but Galaxy, Molstation, and Vomi are all great cards to have in hand overall. So at least I have some Elestral pressure, and I can keep putting out pressure turn after turn, though if Barron has some counter runes, it will hurt a little bit. So I just throw a Vomi in defense and just kind of pass, because here, it kind of just forces my opponent to either hit into it and I get to keep tempo, or expend some sort of destruction resource, like especially if it's invoke rune just on a Vomi, fantastic. That means one less invoke rune that I have to deal with for Majesea, which is another nice thing about Vomi. I don't think I actually mentioned in my deck profile, just being able to utilize that card to bait out invoke runes to destroy it and just leaving less for Majesea. So here Barron just throws out an aDrive here, just be able to check top 3 and grab stuff. I don't love to see it card advantage wise, because I'm not really puzzling. I have not thrown an Aphros yet in this build, and we'll see why I threw it in here after this match. So Barron sets 1, and I believe from here passes it over. I'm trying to remember. Oh, nope, he's going for something. What is he going for? He's just, misenchanting a Aeolus. So I'm like, that set card's alter for sure. Trying to set up for an aDrive. Just be able to flip, just be able to move the spirit to aDrive, get that search, and go from there. So here, I really don't have a good way to out the aDrive, because Galaxy just hits same attack as its defense. So here, I just throw a Molstation in. Oh, I actually do go for it. I'm like, I might as well just get it out of the way, because I know it's coming. So I do flip it just to kind of force it. So now, next time I have an answer, so either he has to deal with the Molstation, and I can do the exact same play next turn, or just wait till I draw another answer. So I don't love giving him it, but I didn't really have a good out, so the best thing to do there was just get him to use it. Get that out of the way. So here, just gets to add another card, and that's a bit scary for me. So here, Barron's turn, he's got a 2-spirit aDrive, and I'm trying to remember, I think he does this play here. Since I have no counter runes, I can't do anything, so he just goes straight into Galvanom. A huge tempo swing here from him. It does use up a lot of spirits, but now he denies the Vomi effect, completely losing me out on all tempo, and just deals with the Molstation, which could have crashed with it as well. So here, it's scary to see, but I'm kind of hoping that he used a ton of spirits. I can kind of use that to not, that means I haven't completely fallen behind, so I can regain tempo if I can just deal with it. So I really need a counter rune, and Sluggle is not it. So I just choose to throw down the Sluggle to sustain on spirits for now, and just kind of stall it till I get a better answer. And it kind of stinks that I don't have at least a Poseidon or a Tadpuff in hand, because at least with one of those, I'm 1 card away from being able to throw out Majesea and be able to do good stuff with that. So here, Barron throws out Sorlet. Not quite sure why he used the effect here, because it's the same spirit differential. If he had just attacked with Sword, he just used 1 extra spirit. I'm not going to complain about it, because that just means that he's now 1 spirit lower and 1 spirit closer to me being able to defeat him. So here, I draw him to Trident, which isn't too bad here, because I can go Galaxy, Trident, hit over the Galvanom. Though, I will say, it's a bit tough because Sorlet can't answer it, but here I just go for it anyway, because I'm like, there's nothing else I can do. So let's just get that out of the way, get the high spirits off the board here. And yeah, he can deal with it with Sorlet, but at least now he's actually having to deal with it, and I'm just caught up just a little bit more. I'm still behind on tempo here. Unfortunately, he is up 1 Elestral if he has 1 to normal cast, and if he doesn't, what is that hand? So here, just throws out, of course, Toxeon, be able to burn me for a spirit, which kind of hurts. And then goes Lycris, of course, to expend, sets 1, so bit scare here, and yeah, just goes for it. So yeah, it's pretty much what I expected. Got forced to expend 1, so I'm a bit low on spirits, but so is Barron. Aeromare is not it. I can at least stall. I can throw it in defense. I can enchant it with a wind spirit, because I do run that, so Sorlet can't flip it. But here, I believe I just try to pressure the Sorlet with a Galaxy by attacking it. Just trying to crash, keep him off of it, because now once that Sorlet's gone, most of the Thunder stuff is 1 spirit, so we need another Sorlet for me to have issue. At least if he just has 4 spirits, I can throw down a Galaxy and start actually answering it and pressuring him just a bit more. It is still not great. I am low on spirits at this point, but Baron's also fairly low on spirits. But he also has a ton of cards in hand, which is also super concerning. So here goes Elechick to search out the Zeus. So that to me is a bit concerning as well, because now, oh, he actually searches out an Aeolus. I thought he searched out Zeus here. Because if it was Aeolus, or if it was Zeus, he could then start luring Galaxy's attack, but I'm not too worried about this. Oh yeah, in this version I was running Altar of Stars because I was running the Poseidon, but of course, since I don't have Elechick to search it out in the deck, nor do I really want to find the deck space for it, I cannot use it. Hence why it has been switched out in that version, because here you see it's just trying to distract Baron, but Baron knows this game well enough by now to know that you just kind of attack. If you have a way to answer back row, you can answer the back row, but most times just attack is all it is. So here goes Ambrosia. So don't love seeing that, because the Spirit Differential is really what I was trying to leverage to try to get back into this game, but he has it. So here just kind of recovers the 3 spirits, just decide what he wants to play. And I mean, if anything, he does have a Zeus in hand. Also, it tells me that face down card might not be Altar of Stars because he didn't play out the Aeolus, or maybe he just wants to hold it. But again, he sets 1. If he doesn't play down the Divine Rune, I'm not too worried about it. And yeah, he does have 1. It's a Toxion. So again, forcing me to expend a Spirit. I don't love it. And does flip up the Zeus here, of course, lowering the attack of Galaxy just to be able to hit over it. So now I'm down to 2 spirits. Draw my card, and Poseidon just a turn late. If it had showed up a turn sooner, I could have had plays to regain tempo, leverage, just spirits, really hit him for the rest of them. Wasn't looking too promising, but I just decided to scoop and pass it on to game 2 here. All right, get into game 2 here. I'm going first, and better hand here. Get the Foamy. I have Tadpuff with Poseidon, so now I just need Gobby. Ambrosia, not the best here, but considering the other cards are a Foamy and a Galaxy, I am feeling pretty good here. Galaxy to help answer the board, Foamy for some fun plays. I can Foamy into Mustachian with a Galaxy. That's really nice. I've got other plays such as maybe just going to, I wouldn't, no, Sluggle's not the right one here. But mainly that Foamy into, I think Mustachian is the best one here, which is really nice. And Baron just setting 1, the Nogged, again, just up on cards, but that's what happens when you go second. Goes Toxion, and just hits over the Foamy. I am not going to complain here because I get my value here. So here I'm just like, do I just go Mustachian here? Is there anything better I do? And at the end of the day, it's just Mustachian. It really is. There's no reason to try to recover a Sluggle with 1 Water Spirit. I could have expended another Water and recovered it, but not worth it. Aeromar's not a bad draw here. So he does have 1 face down, but here I can still do stuff though, which is the big thing, which is really nice. So I throw out Galaxy, switch Mustachian attack. So I got a 5-2 and a 6-1 on board, and I attack with the Mustachian first, because now he either has, if he wants to do it with the Galaxy, he has to let the Toxion go. Otherwise, Galaxy's just going to hit over it anyway. So nope, just lets it go, lets that one go through. So that tells me it might be Altar of Stars, and Baron has not seen his Zeus or Aeolus yet, or doesn't want to throw it down quite yet. Which I'm, again, not going to complain about. That is a good play. I have the tempo advantage here, and I'm hoping to leverage that. And Aeromar's not a bad card here. It will be a 5-4 if I enchant it with a Water, which is also nice. And then, of course, I've still got Tadpuff Poseidon for a blowout play. Ambrosia's quite nice. So he decides to go Carryon here, the kind of spicy card of his deck, to be able to answer that board. So here I accidentally throw Mustachian in there, but Mustachian does survive. I get it back on my turn. And yeah, so really strong, a decent play by Baron here, but I'm still up on tempo. And there's the Globby. This is huge. Now, the question is, do I really want to do it? Probably not, because, and you see here I go Aeromare, just because of those counter runes. I want to use this to bait out the counter runes and hopefully do something, because like a Poison Tip arrow would suck on Majesea here. But at the same time, I could have forced out more spirits and still leverage some tempo here, but it also used a lot of spirits for me, so wasn't the biggest fan of it. He goes Elechick here, searching out Divine Runes, so now he can start answering my board. But at the same time, that was the other thing. These might be Altar of Stars, and be able to search out Divine Rune really helps him be able to use those Altar of Stars, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm really worried if it's Altar of Stars against Majesea, because it's not actually destroying it, which is the big thing. So here he does set up the Zeus, which gives me more idea that it is Altar of Stars, but I'm also a bit worried it's a Poison Tip arrow. So here he does drop the Aeromare's attack because it can at least crash into the Elechick. If I have another Galaxy, it can go. So here it does do that. Sets, I did let him to set one. He meant to set one before the attack. All good there. So here, again, it's scary because like it might be a Poison Tip. So part of me is just like, maybe I should have just tried to go for the big push play if he didn't have Poison Tip. It would have been a good play, but maybe I was playing a bit too cautiously. So I don't know. Like, I've seen a lot of altars. Again, this is only the second time I've seen this deck, so like in hindsight, if I knew his deck better, I'm just like, yeah, probably should have pushed, and if he had Poison Tip, so what? But it kind of seemed like he had altars. unimportant. I just throw out the Foamy there. He does have the Gorgon's Gaze. So that's another reason why, since I Globby, at least with Gorgon's Gaze, that stopped that. But also at the same and I didn't know at this point if he had any removal. So like Gorgon's Gaze, and then he could have talked out the Globby. I'd be like, okay. But it would have been a lot of spirits as well. So at least he would have been able to slow down the Globby. So again, seeing that, I'm starting to think maybe I should have gone for that play last turn as well, if that was it, because I don't think Gorgon's Gaze would be the best against that. So here he does Ambrosia to help get back some spirits. He's up on with the Elechic, because of course he stopped my Mustachian's attack. And then of course can still... I wasn't paying attention enough to see why I got answered with Gorgon's Gaze. Oh, because he timed it to negate Mustachian's effect, which I used, meaning that the attack still went through, and it was 4 attack to 1 attack. That's why. So here, I believe, yep, just goes Spark Hit, and I don't like seeing that, because my deck wants to hold on to these cards, and now Baron can just see them, and he can just take one of the pieces I have, and just throws out the Globby. So I can still draw into it. Honestly, I think the better play would have been able to knock out the Tadpuff, or even the Poseidon. Poseidon, I think, would have been the better one, but the Globby still hurts here. Unfortunately, I think it's because he knew I could float into Foamy. That's why I wanted to get rid of the Globby. That way I lose that Ascension. So, but yeah. In hindsight, should have gone into it, should have pressured it. Gorgon's Gaze, whatever. Still would have been able to probably do it next turn. It just would have given me... It's just one of those things that's like, turns out he had the counter. It's just I just didn't know. Simple as that. I just didn't know. So now I do know. That I'm still trying to figure that one out, whether I should be more risky with these things, or if it's like, it just all comes down to deck information. I'm just not sure, because I just didn't have that deck information. So what is right? And that is a really big discussion to have here. So here, I believe Baron's just thinking through what he wants his play to be. You can skip a bit ahead in here. So yeah, just attacks over the Foamy, and then I get to go into anything that I want, and I believe I just pull out a Sluggle to sustain here with Spirit Differential, hoping I can draw into and out here, because it's not like much else will do anything. He's got 2 face down, so Ambrosia isn't it though. And the frustrating thing is here, Spark It can just keep going. It can just keep Nexusing, it can keep expending. Trident also is not it, though I will say I did not make this play, and in hindsight this is what I should have done to at least keep some tempo. Switch Sluggle to attack, throw out Poseidon, shut down the counter runes, equipped Trident Poseidon to Sluggle, and crash into that Spark Hit, because, and I just pass here, but in hindsight I should have done that, because at least would have given me a fighting chance, because of course now he's just going to Nexus, he's going to discard stuff, and Majesea is probably my best blowout play to regain tempo, and at least I can try to not fall farther behind in tempo with that play. And Toxeon, yeah, kind of, it hurts here. Again, of course, just Nexus to the Toxeon, forced me to expend one more, discard a card, and yeah, that hurts. And he just throws away the Trident. So again, I probably should have gotten rid of the Poseidon. Actually, no, because he's using Ultra Stars, that is correct, because that's the thing. I keep saying, like, a lot of counter runes don't matter, but Ultra Stars, it does matter there, and a lot of people are starting to use Ultra Stars. So here, yeah, just forced to expend spirits, and at this point I'm just like, I don't know what I can do. Galaxy something. Only I still had that Trident. It would have been something I could have done here, like Galaxy plus Trident would have been great. So I actually could have gone Foamy into Galaxy, but I didn't have the Trident. But honestly, in hindsight, yeah, I should have gone Foamy into Galaxy on that last one, and that way to try to force him to still use counter runes and answer stuff would have probably been pretty good there. So I don't think Sluggle was right there in hindsight. I should have gone Galaxy. Well, first attack Foamy into Foamy, then go into Galaxy and try to answer the board there, because it would have done that. So hindsight's 2020, live and learn. Glad I spotted that misplay. So sets 1, and like, let's be real here, it's pretty much over. So expend a spirit. He's going to grab that Tadpuff, get it out of there. So I really can't do anything. And at this point, it's just game. There's no way around that one. So you can kind of skip through that. It does have Galvanom just for insult to injury. Can't actually use its effect, but you know, it's just expend the spirit. Yeah, it is what it is. I spent 2. I have Ambrosia's. I can recover here, and that's exactly what I do. I've got Sorlet to hit over the Galvanom, but he does have Gorgon's Gaze, so that's kind of that. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of this game. So after making some changes to my deck, I threw in some Tsunamis, got rid of the Altar of Stars, also adjusted a few ratios. I forget what I included in here. there's another change I made. We'll see it probably in action. But here, just another match here just to kind of test out the changes. Baron and I are both still playing the same deck. I rolled a I'm playing the same deck with modifications, but Baron didn't make any change to his. I roll a 15, Baron rolls a 16, and I believe he chooses to go first here. So here, already a better hand. Poison Tip Arrow is nice. Sorlet, Globby, Galaxy. So I have plays here. So the nice thing is that if I can get Galaxy or maybe a Sorlet with a Water Spirit to stick, I can go into Globby with Poseidon and go straight into Majesea. So I still have that play, which is really nice. So I'm already loving this hand so much more than last game, mostly because of that counter rune. I know I got rid of the Tridents as well. I added those back in. I know I got rid of Tridents and the Altar of Stars. And I believe that was for, originally I wasn't running Nog. I know it's the card advantage issue, so I switched out I was running 3 droplets, so now I dropped down to 2 droplets, run 3 Nogs, and then included the, not Ambrosia, the Tsunamis, I think was the big change here. So here Baron gets to play Nog, he reveals it there, sets 1 as well for his first turn, so already seeing those Nogs is really strong as well. So I'm hoping to see some my sets 1 again. So 2 set cards. Don't love that, but at the same time, not the worst. And what else does he got for us? A Toxion. So Sampa Toxion, I'm forced to expend 1. Just go for the Zaptor because I haven't seen Rice Roast, so there's no reason to keep my Zaptors right now. And I haven't even seen the Mount Olympus, which is another thing to keep, because I can throw a Thunder Spirit on a Sorlet and be able to still hit over their 4 attack stuff because my sword still be 1 greater. So here, passing it over. Let me skip ahead to when because we're talking here. There we go. Okay, so I get a Sorlet. I go Leviathan into Sorlet just because I don't really want to use up the Wind Spirits when I have another Sorlet here. And that was the main reason, but also to set up for that Globby here. And as you'll see in hindsight, probably should have just gone for the Wind Spirit. I didn't know if I saw this last game if Baron was running Sorlet, but that's the punish here, is just the Sorlet. Bit unfortunate, but now I know. So I don't remember if I knew it last time, but in hindsight, if there's a Sorlet in your opponent's deck, you probably should do Wind Spirit. But hey, I can at least Poison Tip Arrow to not completely lose out on tempo, and I decided to do that because just throwing out my own Sorlet or Galaxy doesn't do anything against the Sorlet. I mean, I can crash, but I'd rather get rid of it and keep tempo in my favor. So here, go that, and Baron does exactly that, and the turn goes exactly how you expect. I'd spend 1 draw, and I draw into my 3rd Sorlet, so hey, at least I got plenty of 5 attackers. So here, I go another Water Spirit into Sorlet. Because I got rid of his, I was just like, do you have another one? And it doesn't matter because he's got the Poison Tip. So, yep. 1 for using Poison Tip, 1 for the Sorlet attack, 1 to expend to destroy it. And tempo is back in Baron's favor with 1 set card. But it might be Altar of Stars, so not too much to worry about. Spark Kit here. Don't want to see that dang thing. I don't want discarding cards. So, of course, take the 1. But hey, at least I have some answers to it. But at the same time, a bit scary if Baron has like another Poison Tip here, which I really don't want to see. All right, bit of a time skip here as I stopped to get dinner, but continuing this, where were we? Yeah, Sorlet attack, spended 1, didn't use anything. I have to remember where we were in this game. Thankfully it was early on, but 2 set cards, I'm starting to think that it's expend 1 to draw, which is not good. I'm starting to think that those 2 set cards are probably like Altar of Stars without any support there. Time to expend 1 to draw is not where Baron wants to be right now. So I draw into the Majesea. Don't really need it since I have the Globby, but hey, at least I have the play to go into it. So I'm debating here whether or not to go into it, whether I want to risk those set cards. And here, especially since I flipped the Sorlet, so yeah, I'm just debating on it. And what did I say to do? Yeah, I just decide to go for it. I'm like, make the read, it's Altar Stars. So I Nexus, and then Ascend into, I just go straight into the Majesea, just because I don't want to risk more spirits than I need to, despite being able to do more burst damage there. But here, I didn't want to risk it. It was not quite at the point of the game where I don't think 3 versus 4 really matters here in the long run, especially since I'm making the read of Altar of Stars here, just in case I get punished here, because if Baron had Poison Tip Arrow, I would be putting in an extra spirit, so we'd both be breaking 4, which we're pretty even. I'm ahead, so it's not the end of the world, but I still just like that a bit better. Goes Spark Hit here, so it did have the Spark Hit. Then goes Zeus, so does have that here to kind of start setting up. So here, I can just reveal my hand. I'm assuming it's usually like Zeus and then Spark It. So here, discards the Galaxy, makes sense, makes it so I can't build a bigger board, and just passes here. So here, at this point, I'm pretty confident that he does not have the Shield of Achilles. So I expend 1 to draw since I don't have anything else to do. I have drops plus a shield, which is really nice to start protecting my Majesea. At worst, I'm just dealing with Altar of Stars and gets to stall, so I'm not too worried about that. So here I do decide to drops for Globby back and just to draw 2, hoping to filter into for some more stuff, such as the Sluggle there is quite nice, but of course I already expended 1 to draw, so I can't do that. But I can Ambrosia, recover some spirits. I'm really just since I know if he has Altar, Spark It isn't going anywhere, so I just want to get rid of as much of my hand as possible. So I arguably could have just set the drops and just not done anything for a turn, but at the same time, like, I've just got to see more cards and such, so it is what it is. Does use Altar of Stars there. I don't think it was necessarily a bad play. So here, just be able to use Altar Stars, but I'm feeling really confident here that I can start I'm at a really good board state. It's really what I'm trying to get. So here does Nexus with the Spark Kit, because he did go back to the Zeus with the Altar, so he goes back to that. It tries to ascend into Galvanom here. So here I'm just debating what I want to do. Do I want to shield? Do I want to Poison Tip? And ultimately, I believe I decide to Poison Tip because he can't really attack over it. Oh, that's why. Because if I left up shield, he can pop my 2 face-down back rows and leave up the Galvanom. So by Poison Tipping here, I get ahead of its effect, and this Galvanom is going away, and I can still just continue to pressure with Majesea. It was the real goal here. So here, the reason Barron went into Galvanom was actually a slight misplay on his part. He thought he could target Majesea with it, but nope, Majesea is immune to Elestral effects, so I am A-okay. Turns out that set card is Ambrosia, so not one I had to worry about. So Barron just realizing that he probably can't really come back with that. And it looks like in his deck, his real only out is to stop this Majesea coming out before it happens, or at least having Poison Tip on cast. So yeah, we just go straight to game 2 here. Barron decides to go first, starts with Nog, and my hand's not too bad. Poseidon, Foamy, Shield, Sluggle, Galaxy. The Foamy Galaxy is really nice with Shield, for sure. Sluggle's not the best, but there's no reason to shovel this back in just because of a Sluggle, and Poseidon will help me set for Majesea early on. So here, Barron sets up 2 back row, goes Toxicon, forcing me to expend 1, so of course spend the Zaptor because no Rice Rose. I don't really need it, especially since I haven't seen Mount Olympus either. So here, just, oh yeah, words is in chat we're discussing. So here I draw into the Tsunami, which is pretty strong overall. So here I just set up Galaxy to start putting up pressure. Actually Tsunami is a really good draw here just to kind of slow down the game a bit more. So you're just waiting for a response, because if he has Poison Tip, that stinks. I can't hit over the Toxicon, but if not, I can start putting pressure. And if he has some way to disrupt, like we've seen Gorgon's Gaze, because he can't alter here. So Gorgon's Gaze, it'll be fine. Gorgon's Gaze actually isn't that great because he can still destroy it. But alas, it's still 3 spirits just to be able to destroy the Galaxy and keep tempo. So at least it's good on Spirit Differential. So here, where it says talk, we can just kind of skip through a bit of this. So yeah, he does Gorgon's Gaze my Galaxy. So here, Gorgon's Gaze after attack declaration to switch his attack back to 2, so Toxicon destroys it. But at least I still have the Shield and the Tsunami to help me keep up on board, though without the best hand, I'm really just stalling here overall. So apparently Barron doesn't have the best hand, using the Carryon here to try to start putting on some pressure. So here, I'm just debating whether I want to slow down Tsunami or Shield. And ultimately here, I decide to Shield to slow down the tempo and still take the 1 from the Toxicon, just to kind of more encourage that Foamy hit. Poseidon's not really what I want to see, so I do throw out Foamy here. And Poison Tip really sucks here on the Foamy, unfortunately. So Foamy's going away, of course. Unfortunately, I don't get that value, but I still have the Tsunami to stall out. Poseidon draw really hurts. Like, I saw drops last turn, but I still haven't seen any Nogs, and that's really what I'm missing, is that draw power. Though Barron playing it a bit slow with aDrive here to check top 3. Don't love it because he's still filtering through his deck, which is going to make it harder for me to actually be able to close out the game. And sets of cards, so we'll see. I don't Tsunami here because I feel like I can get more value here, but Shield is all right. So at least I can go Sluggle, recover 3, kind of just stall a bit more with the Shield and the Tsunami. I really wish that Poseidon was something else at this point. So Barron does set another one. So like, even if I could start grabbing back tempo, it's going to be really hard since Barron has those face downs. So that's probably, it's kind of exchanging all those. And now since he has extra spirits on board by re-enchanting the aDrive, he has his altars live, which is really scary and can start burning me with Toxicon. Not in a good place here overall. So here I'm just debating, do I shield it? Do I push it? Do I just let the Sluggle go? And here, I don't remember I just decided to shield. Okay. just kind of slow him down some more, keep the tempo in my favor. Oh, that's what I did, in case I drew the Globby, because if I can draw Globby here, which unfortunately I don't, I can at least go Majesty and have some fighting chance, since I've already seen a Poison Tip Arrow, and I'm thinking those are alters. So here I just throw down a Foamy, again, just kind of be able to wall up, kind of push it more into my favor to hopefully be able to grab back tempo. Of course, now I'm down on counter runes. The hand differential is also really hard. I'm like, Baron has something, and that scares me a lot. And Spark it, of course, with a Zeus. Yep, that sounds about right. So here just gets the Nexus to Spark it. So here, of course, it's easy. It's just 2 Poseidon, so 1 goes away. And what does he do from here? So imagine you just going ahead into the Sluggle, of course, not really having to deal with the Foamy. And I believe, yeah, I just let it go. I'm just really holding the Tsunami for like a huge tempo swing. Aramir, not it. And this was frustrates me. If I just seen Globby here, I could go into Majesty and put on a ton of pressure. And it really hurts to not see that, because now if I leave the Poseidon in hand, which this is why I set it so he can't do that for this exact scenario, pretty much. But hey, alters the Aramir at least, and he gets the top 3. This is so strong, but I had to just hit the Spark hit. That's all I could really do. I can't hit the Astrabbit right now. But now it's like I've got 4 cards. Baron has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 cards at his disposal. Of course, I can't play them all at once, but yeah. Ambrosia help with the Spirit differential, just really hurts here. I've just been behind tempo all game, and it sucks. Like, there's nothing really else to say here. It's just a grind game at this point. Look how many Spirits he has on board as well versus my 2. So here, just kind of debating what he wants to do here. How does he want to go through this play? He could, of course, Nexus with a Spark It to start milling more with Astrabbit. Accidentally throws a Spirit. He was trying to grab a Spirit. So he just enchants. Oh, he ascends it into the Galvanom. That really hurts, because he just can nuke my Aramir, he can nuke my Foamy, and that's that. But instead, he actually goes for the 2 back row. So using Spark It and Galvanom to pretty much have absolute board control is really strong here. So unfortunately, I lose out on my Poseidon, but with 2 water, well, now 1 water Celestial. So not even like I can't even do anything to ascend, which really stinks. Drop Sleeves is not it, but hey, at least I can draw 1 card off of it. 2 Spirits, draw 1. That's not great value, but that's really all I can do right now. Like, I still have Spirits to survive, and at least he had to use all those Spirits with Galvanom, but without a way to answer it, this hurts. So, and it's the Tad Puff. Another combo piece. I can't do anything with this. I'm just so far behind on tempo. Like, yeah, I can enchant the Tad Puff, but maybe it's better to let him just hit into the Foamy. So I expend 1 to draw and get the Poseidon, the 3rd Poseidon here. And it's just like, I have everything except the Globby or Galaxy. So if that type of was Poseidon, or well, it wouldn't have mattered, because I just call it here, because I'm just like, yeah, you just discard. I'm so far behind on tempo, I can't regain resources. Baron just whittled down my resources, as simple as that. And it wasn't even like Spirits, he just whittled down the cards I had on board and in hand to the point where there's nothing I can do. Really showing off that Thunder can do that. So here just goes Sorlet, can just start, it's not even optimal to switch Foamy to attack with that. So honestly, he can just kind of start hitting with everything, and that is just how it goes. I think we still play it out for a turn here. Oh, I'm looking at deck. Oh, for my Foamy Float. I just go Mostation to shut down the turn. And I draw into Sorlet, so I can actually start doing something here. So Sorlet, go into that. I can flip the Galvanom to start, at least be able to attack over it, maybe. But we just get Gorgon's Gaze anyway, and I believe I just call it there, pretty much. I could go Mostation and Crash. Yeah, let that through. But at that point, yeah, it's just game. So we move on to game 3. So here, interesting hand, Nog. Finally some draw power. I love seeing that. I actually go for a Shield Gaze, Poison Tip Arrows, Top Left, Aramir, nice. And Poseidon and Globby. So I'm just like, I know Baron does not run Shield. He has Gorgon's Gaze, which I don't really care about. The big thing is just he does not have Shield. I have not seen any rune removal. So I just am thinking, like, do I just go Majesty here? Because I could just set a Majesty before he can even set anything to answer it, and he just has to deal with it. And that's what I end up doing. I just go for it. Go Tad Puff ascend into Globby, and then I do set up the Poseidon. I'm just paying how many Spirits, and it ends up just being 1 because I don't run any real reason. Like, it's extra attack for Majesty, but it does not matter in this matchup. Baron's highest attack, Elestral, is 6 attack. And even then, with Zeus, he can only drop my Majesty down to 7 attack. So he would need extra, like 2 Zeus to do so. So I just go 4 Spirit into the Majesty. I got Shield, I got Poison Tip Arrow, so even if he has something crazy, since he can't do much. And so, yeah, he is Nog just trying to dig, but it's like, what do you do? Double Nog as well. So I'm like, okay, this is great for me. He's digging for his cards. That makes it easier for me to finish off the game. So Barron just kind of digging for answers, but even he's just at this point, he's like, what do I do against this? So it turns out Turbo Majesty play does come in handy in this final game here, even though I didn't build the deck around it, but at the same time, I still think it's better not to. It's just fun to finally be able to do this in the same game at point, what is it, we're over hour 25 minutes into the stream, almost an hour and a half into the stream, and here Barron just sets when he's just like, what do I do? And let me skip ahead a bit. So just goes Toxicon, burns me for 1, and passes. And here I'm just debating, do I do it? I'm like, I've got the Arrow Mare. I don't really care. And draws into Poison Tip Arrow. So like, Baron's not doing anything to my board without me responding to it. So yeah, just take out the Toxicon, hit for 4 spirits, pass the Baron, he draws. What does he got? Let's see. He's got... I know Rewards has talked to us at this time as well, so that's why I say so long. So he throws out Carryon to do something, and I just shield it. I'm like, no. There's no reason to. I'm just going to shield it. And that's the reason I didn't Poison Tip it, because it didn't matter. Sluggle, I can enchant Sluggle, just kind of put on more pressure, recover more spirits. Like this, Sluggle just feels insult to injury from a spirit differential perspective. So here, just go that, and I can just hit for 6. And I think we're talking again. And Baron just folds at this point. Like, this is his hand. He cannot do anything. He can search out double Zeus with Elichick, but even under double Zeus, that just drops Majesty down to 4 attack, and the Elichick can crash, but I still have 2 back row that he can't even really deal with. So it's like, what can he really do? He can do Carryon, start beating stuff, but like, it doesn't matter. He can't out the Majesty before I really defeat him overall. So that was a really fun final game, and I had a lot of fun with this deck. There's still, the deck list I showed off, I still want to test a bit more just to see how I feel about cutting Arrow Mare, running that 1 Tsunami now for some more back row, but also still running the Tridents, because I think the Tridents are a really cool tech, was the one I ran from it that I want to test, and then also the Afros for more draw power, to have more options off of the Foamy, but also have more synergies with the Poseidon, because right now Poseidon's just there for the turbo. You saw that hurt me in game 2 of this one. So if you haven't already watched the deck profile of it, you can find the deck profile up in the card above or in the description down below, and let me know, what do you think of this kind of double upload where one video is the deck profile, another one's just a bunch of gameplay that I'm commentating over it. I heard it was a Yu-Gi-Oh player talking about a Magic player who did that, and I really liked that idea to give it a try, so I want your opinions down below in the comments. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Do you want it all in one video? Like, any feedback would be greatly appreciated. But with that being said though, look forward to more Elestrals content coming out from me real soon.